What we do here is go back.
Hey, let's go back to that video we just did a few minutes ago. Boy, come on. Study the Bible, not the sermon. I am the locksmith, knowledge is still the key. Check outside my window, this is still the 5th day of the week. Things that make you go, Yeah, this is the relationship series. Boy, it's been going down, bro. And this is that things that make you go, Thursdays, special edition 1.99. This is part 1.99, right? Part 2 coming up on Sunday, right? But I had to do a second, conclusion to the last video. And I didn't want to run too long, and I don't want this one to run too long. This one's probably going to be much shorter than the last one. But just to recap, we learned about husbands not having to actually have sex to be a husband. Just be promised to somebody to be a husband. We learned about harlots having sex not in the right way after due order. Just hanging out with the busters and seeing a dude and laying with him, even though he fell in love with you after you laid with him, makes you a harlot, right? And hey, all of us have sinned and come short of the glory of God, right? I'm just pointing out definitions. It is what it is. Don't hate on me. I can smell your judgment. Ain't no judgment over here. A whore, somebody who got sex, had sex before they got married, right? Lo and behold, try to play it off like you're a virgin and get stoned, okay? And then the last thing we learned about was a betrothal. Betroth means to promise somebody in marriage, and after you betroth somebody, you basically are married, right? You just have not consummated, right? All right, kick this off at Exodus chapter 22, and we're going to actually just read one verse, verse 16, bro. Come on.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Turn up, boy. Now, we want to talk about virgins is really the thing we didn't talk about before, so let us read them together, saith the Lord. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, so we got a maid, that means she's a virgin after due order, and she is not betrothed, so she's not promised to me, so that means you can deal with her, right? Because the fact that she a virgin is not enough, because if she's been promised to me, then that means she mine, right? So she hasn't been promised to nobody, and she a maid, right? If a man catch her, entice her, and he entice her, catch her the way Shechem did, right? Even if she not with the busters, you know what I'm saying? But he catch her and he lay with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. What's that even mean, endow? Right? Matter of fact, don't worry about it. Go ahead and throw definition of endow up, right? Endow is a fancy way of saying to pay for the woman.
But I'm just saying, I thought you only paid for whores, locksmith.
Whoa. All I'm saying is that if you catch a maid and she entice her to lay with you, you supposed to pay for her to be your wife. And guess what? That's what Shechem was trying to do, right? He just didn't do it after order, right? So that means, do this, but if you get caught slipping, you might get caught slipping and they whack your whole family. Read verse 17, bruh.
If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him,
then what?
He shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Right? So if you lay with her and then her father don't want to give her to you, then you got to pay. Right? So either way, you got to pay. So when either of you goes outside of that union, whether you're talking about physically or in your mind, you go opposite of what the union is doing over here, or what the head and the helpmeet have agreed on what we're going to do. You go outside of that in your mind or in your heart, which is still your mind, but in your heart when you go and cleave to another person emotionally. That makes you a male whore, female whore, man whores, whoredoms, whoremongers, Whore Babylon. Just whores. Right? Remember, fornication is just immorality. Right? Immorality is really the sin. Right? Fornication is a form of immorality. Right? So fornication is just immorality, whether you're having sex without a covenant, or it's adultery, or whether you just go a whoring after other gods. Right? Like Ezekiel 16, 26 through 29. Now in Ezekiel chapter 16, he actually talks about Israel as if she's a woman. And he talks about this woman who he took care of, went out and played the harlot on them and committed whoredoms. And up in verse 25, he talks about her opening her feet in her whoredoms, right? But then he gonna go somewhere else with it, right? And verse 26 where we gonna pick it up at, bro. Go ahead and read that, bro.
Thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and hast increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger.
Right, so fornication is a way to commit whoredoms, and he say you committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, right? And the children of Israel still commit fornication with Egyptians to this day, right? Not just the Kemetics and the Egyptologists, but just Christmas trees and Washington D.C. obelisk. But I digress. Read.
Behold, therefore I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast unsatiable, yea.
Woo!
Thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied.
Right, so he say the Philistines was ashamed because you was lewd, right? Remember, lewd, you don't have to get paid to be lewd, right? And then they say, Syrians, you was unsatiable because you played the harlot with them, and you could not be satisfied. Read 29.
Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea. And yet thou wast not satisfied herewith.
Yes, sir. So, you multiplied your fornications with the Canaanites and with everybody. The book tells you in other places, Israel played the whore all over the world. Right? So, now, lastly, take it to the New Testament, bro. 1 Corinthians 10. Right? And we're going to read one verse again. We're going to read verse 8. And we're going to see what it says on this whole fornication tip. When you get that, read that, bro.
Neither let us commit fornication as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000.
Oh my. One day fell 23,000 people because of fornication. Now, for homework, you should go back into the law, into the wilderness, somewhere between Exodus and Deuteronomy, and find out what 23,000 people died and what they were doing to commit such fornication. Right? Because it's important. It's important. You'll find out that all they did was forsake the Lord their God. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is the Locksmith. Knowledge is still the key. I had to break it up in 2 parts, but this is the relationship series, part 1.99. Make sure you check out that Roof and Boaz series, part 2, dropping this Sunday. Locksmith, knowledge is the key, and you can find it only on the channel. Study the Bible, not the sermon. Things that make you go, Thursdays, 1